What's going on? What's up, man? It's Brian Davis here, back again for another episode of the Boss Life Talks. We're on episode number 16 here, and this episode is talking about the 5 foods you should stay away from. But before I dive into this, I have a link in the description where I'm giving you access to my #1 nutrition cheat sheet, the 5 Boss Nutrition Hack cheat sheet. You're going to want to get access to it. It's 100% free. Once you get access to it, I'm going to be sending you a bunch of other goodies, so be on the lookout for that in your email, okay? So let's go ahead and dive into this, okay? Because this is very important. Most people struggle in the area of nutrition. Like, it's not about the exercise or things like that. It's just most people, they're struggling. You know, the women with the little with the pouch right there. If you've had kids, probably even if you have not had kids, you're still struggling with that little pouch there, okay? The extra thing of fat that you have. And men, you know, you're probably struggling with the 6-pack, you know, the droopy chest. You want to raise your chest up. So you really need to focus on your nutrition, okay? And most of you are eating these foods that I'm about to tell you about. And these 5 foods, don't get me wrong, I used to eat them. They taste very delicious, and they're very addictive. So number 1. The number 1 food you want to stay away from is, okay, this is a category of foods, okay? Processed foods, okay? So what do I mean by processed foods? Processed foods is pretty much anything that has a nutrition label on it. Now, I'm not saying that all things with nutrition labels are bad, but you want to steer away from processed foods. So I'm going to give you a percentage. You want to have at least, you want to exclude 90% of what you eat from processed foods. So pretty much 90% of what you eat does not consist of processed foods. All right, so that's number 1. Stay away from processed foods. Number 2, do your best to stay away from foods that have hydrogenated oils, right? So you're like, oh, what is that? So it sounds exactly what it implies, hydrogenated. So they're adding a hydrogen atom into the food. Now, I don't want to get too scientific on this series. So pretty much what it does is it allows certain foods to be kind of hard, right? Like peanut butter, for example. Like natural peanut butter is oily, right? Peanuts are oily, an oily substance. But whenever they add this hydrogen atom into the process of making peanut butter, you have this nice thick creamy peanut butter. But what that does is it turns into trans fat into your body, and it just does terrible things to you, okay? So stay away from foods that have hydrogenated oil, okay? Also, number 3, fried foods, okay? You really want to stay away from fried foods, especially when things are fried in old, dingy oil, like all these fast food restaurants, okay? You really want to limit the amount of fried foods you put into your body, because ultimately that's putting your body in a very acidic state. And what is this country prevalent in? In cancer. What does cancer live in? A very acidic environment. So you want to steer clear from processed foods. Number 4, you want to stay away from heavy meats, like heavy non-organic meats, okay? So don't get me wrong, like I don't eat meat, but I don't eat it anymore. So you want to steer clear from a large portion of meat, of animal product, because what that does is, well, put your body in an acidic state, right? It puts your body in an acidic state. So what did we just say? Cancer and all these diseases live in this acid environment. A lot of these diseases, they don't live in an alkalinic environment. And you get a lot of alkalinity from green vegetables, pure water, things like that, okay? So the 5th food you are going to want to stay away from, it's one of my favorites, actually. Chips. You know, they are filled with these terrible saturated fats, right? Now, don't get me wrong, saturated fats, that's a whole nother story, but a certain amount of saturated fats isn't bad for you, but you are going to want to steer clear of these potato chips. They're very enticing, they're very addictive. What you have to understand is that every food that I named here, or every type of food that I named here, there are scientists in labs that are paid very well to create a food that is addicting, all right? These scientists are paid by companies to make these foods addicting, and they get into your brain. Literally, the chemicals get into your brain, and you cannot stop eating them over and over and over again. Next thing you know, you're bloated up, you have diabetes, high blood pressure, heart problems, skin problems, and the list goes on and on. Erectile dysfunction for the men. Come on, man, let's get it right, okay? So those are the 5 types of foods you are going to want to steer clear from, or at least slowly eliminate from your eating regimen, okay? Slowly eliminate from your eating lifestyle. So that's pretty much all I have for you for today's episode. And you're gonna want to steer clear of these foods, of these types of foods. So if you really got some value from this, please hit the thumbs up for me. And also, sharing is caring, right? So share this video to one of your business partners, one of your friends, one of your family, so they can really hone in on their nutrition and start to level up their health, okay? All right, also hit that subscribe button. It's somewhere, I don't know where it is, but hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to get the notification for whenever I upload these videos, okay? So it's Brian Davis here, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode of the Boss Life Talks. And also, if you have any topics that you want to discuss, please put them in the comment section below. I will get to them and I will include them in future episodes. So that's all I have for you today. Have a great one.